everybody, welcome back. This is going to be a pick a card reading. What Disney relationship is your love like? So what is your love like? And this will be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And then I got this little color bowl full of the Disney couples that I'll be drawing at the end to see who you could compare your love and relationship to. So take a look at the decks, choose your card, pause if you got it, and let's get started.
Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the red acrylic paint, this is your pile. So we've got 2 Rider-Waite decks here. Sorry, I'm like trying to organize these. 2 Rider-Waite decks here and a couple of Oracle decks, which I'll get into once we get into the pile. So let's start off with the Rider-Waite decks. You've got the 4 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Wands, which I love this card, you already know, Temperance, and the 2 of Swords. For your oracle cards from your Literary Witches Oracle, which I love this deck. The artwork on it is beautiful. You have got Anna Akhmatova. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Sorry if you're Russian and I butchered that. Endurance and House, which I'll explain. And from the Angel Answers deck, you've got Listen to Your Intuition. And this doesn't really have a name, but it's another Oracle deck, and it says you'll meet your soulmate when the time is right. So for starters here, I feel like with, let me get this organized here. Put all these, let's start off with the, I wouldn't call it bad news. We go with the negative into the positive here, okay? We're gonna flip it. With the 5 of Swords, I feel like there's some sort of conflict. I don't know if you guys broke up or if you guys are in separation. There is some sort of conflict, also indicated to me by the fact that you have got the 2 of Swords and Temperance in here, which means that you need some balance in this relationship, in this connection. There needs to be something that you work through to balance this out. Maybe it didn't work out in the past, but we do have positive cards here, so I would say don't freak out. And as every tarot reader on YouTube says, if it doesn't resonate, let it fly. This may not be your pile, this may not be your video. So, but I am seeing that you may need balance in this connection. And then you've got the 8 of Swords, which, you know, sorry, I had to write notes because I think so fast when I'm doing these readings that, like, if I forget something, I will just totally beat myself up about it later. So sometimes I look at my notes. Don't freak out. Yeah. So, like, being something out of your control. Something out of your control that has affected this connection in a negative way that you guys need to balance out. But I don't see it being too big of an issue with the 4 of Wands and the Victory card here. So this is somebody coming forward, wanting to make an offer, wanting to make things right. You know, a fresh start, a fresh start. And this is always a good card. And then paired with this, I don't think it's anything you guys cannot work through. So the 6 of Wands is a victory card. That, come on, it's a victory card. So even through all the trials, tribulations, even if you're in separation right now, there is this message that things will work out. You have to work towards it. You need to balance stuff out, but things will work out. And then we get into, you know, you will meet your soulmate when the time is right. That's what I really feel like, is that maybe the timing wasn't right before for you guys, that maybe stuff didn't work out because it was not the right time and you guys needed to take a step back, reevaluate, and come back at this with the correct mindset. You needed to come correct to this connection because it is, I mean, you will meet your soulmate. Linda Hyman's right. Like, it says on the card, okay? And then with house 2, that's family. So, like, this indicates family, like stability, like having a home. Like, I would never advocate making a person your home, but this is somebody who feels like home to you. And then with the endurance card, obviously you guys have been through something in this connection with these cards that we've already went over. So yeah, you have endured a lot in this connection. You maybe were avoiding things. This also has a connotation for like a need for patience. So as I said before, things may not have worked out in the beginning, but now maybe this person's coming at you correct. They're like looking for victory. They're wanting to offer you this new beginning. They're like, hey, I think we can work this out. You're my soulmate. I love you. So with that being said, let's draw what Disney character, oh, that was quick. Oh, this is cute. Meg and Hercules, and that kind of fits, you know, because in the beginning, Meg wasn't, and this doesn't have to apply to, like, this could go either way for either one of you. Maybe somebody in the beginning wasn't honest, and you found out something that you didn't like, and it kind of killed your connection. But I feel like this person or you're coming back in with like, yeah, but I love you, and I can make this right. So I think that's cute. Meg and Hercules, that's your guys's. I don't know if you can see that. My light's pretty bright. So that is the message I got for pile number 1. If it resonated, leave a comment, like and subscribe, share if you want. Yeah. So on to pile number 2. Let's go to the all right, pile number 2. If you chose the blue acrylic paint, this is your reading. I'll throw that back in there. All right, so for your cards, as I said, for pile number 1, I know people like to skip these, so I'm just going to reiterate myself. I've got 2 Rider-Waite decks and 3 Oracle decks, and we'll all get into that, obviously. So for your Rider-Waite Tarot, you've got the Hermit, you've got the Chariot. There's some other cards in here that might be concerning, so don't freak out. You have got the 6 of Cups. I love this card, it's so cute. King of Swords, the Magician, 4 of Cups. That's the concerning one, but like I said, it's a good message, so don't freak out. And then for you guys, actually, you got the other people, everyone got like a different amount of cards in this. This is just what was coming through. So life is tough, but so are you. The more loving care you give yourself, the more love you have to give others. You've got Emily Bronte, I don't know. I read, but I don't know how to pronounce anybody's name, so forgive me if I'm butchering these, which is fantasy. This is the Literary Witches Oracle deck. And Knife, which I will be explaining. And like I said to the other pile, I have notes because when I'm channeling and shuffling the decks, a lot of stuff's coming through, and if I forget, I beat myself up about it later, so do not be alarmed if I'm looking at my little piece of paper. And then from the Angel Answers, it is choose a new direction. So what I'm getting from this deck, let me get these in order here. Sorry, I'm one of those weirdos who just makes weird like sound effects all the time. So, okay, yes, okay. So let's start off with probably the one you're gonna get the most concerned about, which is the 4 of Cups, which could mean that either you or this person offered your little cup of love before and they felt like, or you felt like, that it was rejected. And it caused you to kind of go, one or both of you to kind of go into this hermit mode to reevaluate things. What I'm seeing from this person either they could see you this way, or this is how they are. I'm almost feeling like this is more them, and maybe this is why, if you felt like you had already offered your little cup of love to this person and they rejected it, they're in a King of Swords energy. Or vice versa, if they offered it to you, maybe they felt like you were in this energy. But the King of Swords is basically unemotional, very logical, very analytical. I mean, swords is the suit of air. It could be an air sign. You could be an air sign. And kind of cutting with their words. So maybe something to that extent happened, or maybe you didn't even realize that you had said this. But if there has been a disconnect in this connection, I do feel like this is a person from your past, by the way, because with these Six of Cups, the Six of Cups is like blast from the past. This is like either an ex-lover or an ex-friend or like a friends with benefits situation. Somebody from your past that romantic feelings were involved is coming back to give you an offer, which obviously before you felt like this was rejected, or they felt like this was rejected, but they are not afraid to come back. And the reason I'm feeling that way, and I feel like they're coming in hot with the Chariot, to be honest with you, they are coming in with an offer fast. I don't think this pile's going to have to wait long if you guys have been waiting. That's all I'm going to say. Because they've manifested you, or you've manifested them, or you've manifested each other back into each other's lives, this is the Magician card. Now, with the choose a new direction, I'm not feeling like this is a, oh, if they come back, reject them kind of thing. I'm thinking the message that I'm getting from this is that because one or both of you felt rejected before, that you had to choose a new direction to grow and come back together, which is kind of a similar but not exactly the same as pile number one. If you felt drawn to both, maybe you should watch pile number one too, but I'm feeling like you had to choose a new direction and they're choosing to come back to you. Sorry, my family's like outside and it's super awkward to have them listen to me do tarot readings. That's really awkward. And the fucking walls in this house are paper thin, excuse my language. But, you know, I feel like this person thinks that you're tough. Like, I think that this relationship really can endure anything. I feel like it's meant to be. Now, if you are in a toxic situation, this is not what I advocate for. If somebody is treating you poorly, if you feel like you're in an abusive situation, there's no need for you to be tough. There's no need for you to endure that. Walk away. But I'm feeling more like this was a situation that is going to get reconciled. And then probably just because you guys had to learn to love yourselves before you could love each other, because this says the more loving care you give yourself, the more love you have to give to others. And that's a thing that happens sometimes. Sometimes if you, and I don't think this applies to everyone, I think everyone deserves love, but I think that if you cannot fill up your own cup, it's so hard to put that effort into other people. It's draining. And so you need to come from a place where your cup is full. With the Knife card, yeah, conflict resolution. So like this could indicate that there was a conflict before, but it's going to get resolved, and it's talking about like intentions. So I think that they have better intentions now. One or both of you have better intentions now. And then with Emily Bronte fantasy, it's like they've been thinking about this. I mean, you or them, obviously, because the Magician's here, manifesting this back into your life. One or both of you have been thinking about this, and it's almost like, oh, like what if, like that person, like what if they came back, like a shoulda, coulda, woulda situation, like fantasy, like you're fantasizing about it. But it's gonna be, I think, good. I think they're coming back, and sorry, shuffling. I think they're coming back with the winning energy with this Chariot and with that friggin' Six of Cups. They are coming back with an offer, and it's up to you what you decide to do, but that's what your love is like. So now let's get into the little bowl of what Disney relationship your relationship is like. We're just gonna doodly doot this around, and this one. Okay. Aurora and Philip. Oh, that's so sweet. So kind of just like, you know that song, like Once Upon a Dream? Maybe you guys are dreaming about each other. Like with this fantasy card, maybe you have dreams about each other. Because like there's that song like, I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. I think that that's so cute. And then like he comes and kind of like saves the day for her. Although I do advocate for consent. Don't go around kissing sleeping girls. That's a little weird. But yeah, that is your reading pile number 2. And moving on to pile number 3. This is gonna be a mess. I'm gonna have to organize. All right, pile number 3. If you chose the yellow acrylic, this is your love reading. What Disney love is your love like? Let's see. So when I'm just explaining this to every single one because I know people like to skip, and that's why we put timestamps, because I wouldn't want to sit through all this either. So I've got 2 Rider-Waite decks, I've got 3 Oracle decks, and we'll get into it. I have notes because when I'm channeling, a lot of stuff's coming through, and if I forget it, I get mad about it later. So I have my little notepad here with stuff that I needed to write down while I was channeling. Okay? So right off the rip, you got Temperance. You have got, I got my hair. You have got the 7 of Swords. You have got the 8 of Pentacles. There's a lot of Pentacles, a lot of Earth energy. Your person could be Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. The Empress, I love that card, so sweet. Ace of Pentacles. This is a pretty nice spread here. And the 6 of Pentacles. And for this Oracle deck that doesn't have a name, ooh, you guys are gonna love this. Okay, let's start off with this one. Fall in love when you are ready, not when you're lonely. And then this one. According to Greek mythology, humans were originally created with 4 arms, 4 legs, a head with 2 faces. Fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate beings, condemning them to spend their lives in search of their other halves. So this is like your other half. This is like your soulmate. Isn't that sweet? And for you guys got 3 Literary Witches Oracle, which the other decks they got 2. So you got 3. Spirit decided you needed 3 today. You've got Bravery. Beautiful artwork. Agatha Christie, which is Trickery. Do not be alarmed by that one. This is a message that I actually had to write down. So if you see me looking at my notes more so in this pile, you'll know why. And Noose. Can you see that? This fucking light. Sorry. I know I cuss a lot, guys. And then Big Happy Changes. Okay. So let's get into this. We'll start off. This is how I do it every single time. With the Rider-Waite Tarot that I have pulled. Is there another one in here? Oh, okay. I got them all. So you're not the only pile that got Temperance. One of the other piles got Temperance as well, which is talking about a need for balance in this relationship. I believe it was pile number 1 that had the need for balance in theirs. Theirs was way more like unbalanced, I feel, than this pile. This pile, I feel like, is coming from such a loving, hardworking place. So off the rip with the 7 of Swords, sorry, I'm looking at my notes because this is a very specific like message. Okay, so your relationship, I feel like you two, okay, with all this Earth energy, I'm sensing some stubbornness in this connection. You guys, maybe you're stubborn, maybe you're both stubborn, maybe they're stubborn, and it's just so frustrating. This talks about 2 opposing forces, and but it leads to change, and I think that if that hasn't happened already, that is going to happen because there's Temperance here. So Temperance is talking about balancing that out. You're maybe not gonna oppose each other. You're not gonna butt heads as much. You're gonna learn to communicate. And I think that leads into like this new beginning, because I think that they really see with the Empress, like, come on, this is like wifey. They think you're great. This is like the queen of all queens. She's amazing. This also can indicate a pregnancy. So maybe you have like a kid with this person, or maybe you're gonna have a kid with this person. I mean, with the soulmates card here, I feel like it's very plausible. It's very plausible. But this is about abundance and a new start, a new abundant start with you. I mean, and if you can flip the gender roles however you want, non-binary, whatever you want to apply it to, feminine, masculine energy. Even if this is the Empress and you're a guy, it could just mean that you're like a loving, nurturing person that they really see as like their other half. Like you are in your power. And this one's about like giving. So I feel like really, you know, with the opposing forces, the thing that changed to balance this out is that maybe you guys learned to give and to take. You learned about being generous with your time, with your communication. That those are things you needed to work through. And sorry, I'm just like really looking at these. So, but yeah, like with big happy changes, like that is a change that needed to happen for this for this connection to move forward. And this is not for naught. I mean, this is hard work. This is talking about reaping the benefits of hard work, and you are not going to get there without hard work. This relationship has not been a cakewalk. This is hard work, and most relationships are. And with the trickery, I don't think that this is like that they're tricking you. That's where I was like writing down all these notes because they all kind of connect and it's a little messy here. So, yeah, like maybe you guys finally figured out, because part of the explanation for this is like the missing piece. So maybe before you were like iffy about this connection because you had communication issues and like it tricked you into thinking like maybe this isn't it, but they know with this Empress energy, they know that you're their person. And they're going to be brave and work through it and put in the work to come towards you. Or if they're not, that's if they're not with you already. I feel like you guys, this pile, for some reason, I'm feeling like you guys are already back together. If not, something's a brewing. That's all I'm saying. That's just what I'm getting, like, in here. And then fall in love when you're ready, not when you're lonely. So maybe before you were questioning this connection, thinking like, you know, because there was some opposition, that maybe you weren't ready before, but now you are. But we all know this little legend. They split us in half. We're looking for our soulmates. You're their soulmate. I don't know if I mean, like, not everyone's like soulmates or whatever. I mean, there's different things like friends are soulmates, you know, family soulmates, you know, people come and they go. I don't subscribe to like the twin flame thing, so I ain't going that far, but they feel like this is a spiritual connection. And then with the noose, yeah, this is anxiety and self-sabotage. Maybe you were like really with the trickery, like that's fear and like self-sabotaging to the point where there was like communication issues that you needed to work through. And then finally, you have balanced it out, or you're gonna balance it out for this new beginning that you've worked so hard for. And you guys are giving and you're taking and you are making it work. They think you're in your power. You are like their person because you decided to be brave. Like instead of clinging on to that fear, like you decided to be brave. And if you haven't yet, you better get it together because I know that you can. I see you, okay? So now with that out of the way, let's see who your Disney couple is. This one. Oh, this is so cute. Rapunzel and Eugene. Okay. I think that this is great because Rapunzel, she really wanted to leave the tower, but she was scared. And so like Eugene climbs up in there and she like beats him with a pot or a pan, whatever it was. But then she decides to go on this adventure with him anyway, like taking a leap of faith, like the bravery card that I was talking about in here. Taking a leap of faith into the unknown with him. And then, you know, they had their communication issues too. And it all worked out in the end. That is the point, is that all Disney movies are kind of like that, like where it's like, oh, you know, we know. But Rapunzel lived a life of fear at first, and then she went on this adventure and found Eugene. Well, not found. I guess he kind of found her, but you get where I'm going with this. Where like she was scared. She was scared and she did it anyway. And then she found her person. So I think that that's really sweet. And that is it for pile number 3. If you enjoyed this reading, give it a like, maybe a share, comment if it really resonated for you. I love to hear that stuff. And thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for being here. I'm a little bit of a weirdo. I appreciate all of you. And subscribe, maybe.